As new polling shows Donald Trump faltering in Pennsylvania, today the suburbs of Pittsburgh will vote in a special election for a vacant state Senate seat, the first major bellwether since the 2018 midterms. National political reporter for NBC News, Josh Lederman, reported from the district this weekend.
Pennsylvania, thank you.
Pennsylvania put Donald Trump over the top in 2016, but last year it took him down a notch when Democrat Conor Lamb
the sham, right?
flipped a Republican House seat with a message of unity.
To attack the problems, not each other.
Trump needs Pennsylvania to win in 2020, but Republicans are losing ground, dropping 3 congressional seats and 16 in the state legislature since Trump's election, while a new survey shows Trump losing Pennsylvania to every Democratic candidate, in some cases by double digits. And today, another test in the industrial Midwest, a special election in a district that went for Trump by 6 points, then swung toward Democrats last year. Republicans hope to keep the seat with a first-generation American who emphasizes his background and jobs.
This is what I've done as a business CEO all my life.
While Democrats run a moderate in the mold of the 2018 wave, a longtime Navy officer who served in the Bush administration.
We will falter if we don't start working across the aisle.
Both candidates are trying to nationalize the race, the Democrat tying her opponent to Trump, while Republican ads link the Democrat to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Pittsburgh can't afford Iovino's extremism.
A battle for those swing voters who will make or break the state for Trump next year.
And Josh Lederman joins us now. Josh, tell us more about these candidates. What issues are important to them, and how connected are they to identity politics?
Well, Mika, clearly healthcare, education at the top of the list of the issues that have been dominating this race, a lot of these races that we're seeing on the ground. The Democrat here, Pam Iovino, clearly aware that while Trump's support may be eroding in the suburbs, he still does have a lot of Trump voters out there that Democrats can't really afford to alienate. So you see her trying to distance herself, saying, I'm not Hillary Clinton, I'm not AOC, I don't know these people, and that, you know, basically running on the fact that she was a George W. Bush appointee, saying, clearly I'm not that kind of Democrat. So I think there are some lessons here, particularly as the Republican in the race says that the brand of Democrats in 2019 is socialism, that when you have a primary that's going to be this long on the national stage, and clearly the energy in the Democratic base pretty far to the left, Green New Deal, those kinds of issues animating the primary, that there are some risks for Democrats, particularly in states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Ohio, Michigan, to get so far out there that it's going to be able to be really hard to pivot back to the center when it comes to winning back some of those centrist, moderate voters who are going to be so influential in picking the next president.
Where does health care come down in this? Are they tuned into this renewed issue?
They are absolutely.
Renewed by the president?
Certainly. They're very focused on it. Some of it's more on a parochial level, focused on local battles between healthcare nonprofits. How does this actually play out in my community? Obviously, different policies around the country as far as, you know, Medicaid, how some of the healthcare policies are being rolled out. But certainly healthcare, the most frequent issue that voters in this race seem to be talking about.
All right. NBC's Josh Lederman, thank you so much for being on the show this morning.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.